Imagine working outside in 95-degree heat for 10 hours straight, swinging a blade. No shade, no air conditioning, no fridge for miles. That was an ordinary Tuesday for most Americans not long ago, and the wild part is they did it without dropping in the dirt. Their secret was one cheap drink almost nobody alive today can even name. It was out on the hayfields. It was stocked on naval ships for long voyages. It was even passed around on the floor of the United States Congress. And then it vanished so completely that you have probably never tasted it, never heard of it, and never had a single person mention it existed. Tonight, I am going to fix that. So let me paint you the scene. A farmer in the summer of 1850, the sun merciless, soaked through, head pounding, about ready to fall over. Somebody hands him a jug pulled straight from a cold stream. He takes one long swallow, and minutes later he is steady on his feet again. Back at it. No Gatorade, no electrolyte powder with a label you cannot pronounce, just that jug. So what was in it? The drink was called switchel. Some folks called it haymaker's punch because you drank it while making hay under that punishing sun. Others called it ginger water, swizzle, swanky, or just harvest drink. Same drink, a dozen names depending on which valley you grew up in. And for roughly 2.5 centuries, this was the fuel that kept American farmers upright through the kind of labor most of us will thankfully never know. Now, stop me if you think you have heard this recipe because it sounds too plain to matter. Water, apple cider vinegar, ginger, and something sweet, usually molasses. That is the whole thing. Mix it cold, hide the jug somewhere shady, sip it all day. But that humble jug carries a story far deeper than colonial America. Once you hear it, a bottle of sports drink starts to look a little ridiculous. This is where the story takes a turn nobody expects. Switchel did not begin on a farm at all. Its grandfather is a drink called oxymel, which shows up in writing as far back as the 1400s, with roots reaching all the way to the physicians of ancient Greece. Oxymel was just honey, vinegar, and water, and people drank it as medicine. A doctor would actually prescribe the stuff. Take that ancient tonic, drop in a chunk of ginger, swap the honey for dark molasses, and congratulations, you have reinvented switchel. So that farmer in 1850 was sipping something older than the printing press, and he had no clue. Now, where did it land in America? The trail points to the 1600s and the Caribbean, where rum and molasses moved through the islands, then traveled north into New England. By 1775, about 1 in 10 New England farms had its own cider press. They were swimming in apple cider, and some of it was left to turn into vinegar for cleaning, preserving food, and medicine. Vinegar was cheap, it was everywhere, and that mattered. Because picture the alternative. You are hot, you want something tart, so why not lemonade? Lemons and limes were a luxury up north. They showed up for a narrow window each year and cost a small fortune. So citrus was for the wealthy and for people down south. The average farmer in Vermont had no shot at a lemon in July. But vinegar, he made it himself, out back, for free. So vinegar became the sour kick in the jug, and lemons stayed a rich man's garnish. And the sweetener told you exactly where someone lived. In New England, it was molasses, riding up those same Caribbean trade routes. On the frontier, settlers reached for honey. Down south, they used sorghum. In Vermont, some people went further and stirred in oatmeal and a squeeze of lemon, which turns the drink almost into a thin, drinkable porridge. One recipe, but you could read a person's whole map in their jug. This next detail always gets a reaction. Switchel was not only a working-class drink out into dirt, it made it into the United States Congress. In the early days, when the House and Senate were packed and members sat through long sessions with their hats on, it was served in a big bowl everybody dipped into, and more than a few accounts say the congressional version came spiked with rum. Picture that. The same drink soothing a sunburned farmer was also ladled out to lawmakers in Washington, with a little something extra. It pops up in our books too. Laura Ingalls Wilder wrote about ginger water in The Long Winter, where her mother sweetens cool well water, flavors it with vinegar, and adds plenty of ginger so the family can drink their fill without getting sick. Herman Melville name-drops switchel too, and yet there is a strange gap in the record. Noah Webster, the dictionary man, a New Englander who grew up in haying country, left switchel out of his great unabridged dictionary entirely. The most American drink of the era, missing from the most American dictionary. But let me take you back to what Laura's mother said, because she dropped a clue that turns out to be real science. She added ginger so they could drink till they were not thirsty without getting sick. Farmers genuinely believed that hard sweating left your stomach cold, and that gulping plain cold water would turn your gut sour and stop you cold. The ginger, they said, warmed the stomach back up. Folk wisdom, sure, except modern research suggests they stumbled onto something true. A study published in 2008 in the European Journal of Gastroenterology and Hepatology tested ginger in healthy volunteers and found that nearly cut gastric emptying time in half, from about 27 minutes down to roughly 13. In plain English, the ginger told their stomachs to push the liquid through faster. So when an overheated worker chugged the big cold drink, the ginger meant the water moved along, instead of sitting there sloshing and making him queasy. It hydrated him and he got back to the field. They had no idea about the mechanism. They just knew the jug with ginger worked and plain water did not. And the molasses was quietly doing its own job. When you sweat for 10 hours, you do not just lose water. You lose minerals, and the big one is potassium. Now look at what is hiding in molasses. A single tablespoon of blackstrap carries around 300 milligrams of potassium, plus real iron, calcium, and magnesium. Nobody on that farm had ever heard the word electrolyte, because the term came along much later, but they were replacing the exact minerals their sweat was stealing, using the cheapest sweetener in the pantry. Add it up, and you have a homemade rehydration drink a sports scientist today would mostly nod along to. So if it worked this well, the real mystery is this. Where did it go? How does a drink that powered a nation for 250 years just vanish? A few things happened at once. The refrigerator arrived, so cold water and cold soda were suddenly easy. Railroads and trucks made citrus cheap and year-round, so lemonade stopped being a luxury. Bottled sodas exploded onto store shelves, marketed hard. And then in 1965, a lab at the University of Florida invented Gatorade for the football team, and the modern sports drink was born, with a fortune in advertising behind it. But the deeper reason is quieter. Switchel was tied to a way of living. It belonged to people cutting hay by hand from dawn to dusk. When machines took over the fields, the men with the size disappeared, and the drink they carried disappeared right along with them. Nobody banned switchel, we just stopped needing the jug, and within a generation or two, we forgot the recipe was ever there. The good news is it is almost impossible to get wrong, and you can make it tonight. Take 4 cups of water, stir in a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar and 2 to 3 tablespoons of molasses, maple syrup, or honey. Grate in a tablespoon of fresh ginger or use a teaspoon of dried. A small pinch of salt sharpens the hydration. The one rule that matters is this. Let it rest, at least an hour, ideally overnight in the fridge. The resting mellows the bite of the vinegar and lets the ginger bloom. Skip that step and it tastes harsh and thin. As for when to drink it, treat it the way they did, after yard work, a long hot walk, or a workout, when plain water feels like it is just sloshing around. Start with less vinegar than you think you want and build up, because your tongue needs a session or two to come around. One honest note before you go. Apple cider vinegar is acidic, so go easy if your stomach is sensitive. And remember, this is a refreshing folk drink, not a cure for anything. And maybe that is the quiet lesson sitting in the bottom of the jug. Long before a marketing budget told us what to drink after we sweat, regular people had already solved it, with vinegar, ginger, and whatever was sweet in the cupboard. They called it switchel, and then they let it slip through their fingers. Now you know it, so the next time you reach for a glowing neon bottle, you might remember there was a wiser, older jug sitting in a cold brook 200 years ago. If this video was informative, do me a quick favor and comment yes down below. It honestly motivates us to keep making more videos like this one for you.